Welcome to all the BS second year students for semester third. As per my concerned paper is plant ecology. In the previous class we have studied different aspect of this paper. So in the last class we have seen that is hydrophytes and xerophytes. What are the xerophytes? What are the hydrophytes? Their morphological as well as anatomical adaptation. Morphological as well as anatomical adaptation. So what are these morphological as well as anatomical adaptation of these hydrophytes and xerophytes? Today we are discussing regarding the halophytes and epiphytes. While giving the general characteristics of this chapter, I have told that what are these halophytes? Halophytes means those plants which are grow in seashore area or in a saline soils or in a salty soils. Such plants are known as halophytes. Such plants are known as halophytes. So most of the halophytes, they prefers to grow in the seashore area, and for example the most common halophytes are mangroves. So the fishermen in a shallow water of sea, they always planted these mangroves for to stop the movement of egg which are laid by fishes. So for fishing purpose, the halophytes are most essential. Therefore, in shallow water of sea, we will be observed such type of mangroves, that is halophytes. So another important characteristic of halophytes is they are also known as vivipary plants. Vivipary means the organism which gives directly birth to the child one, directly birth to the young one. So for example, human beings are viviparous, and those animals which laid the eggs are known as ovipary. So why these are known as vivipary? Because when the fruits present itself on the plants, the seeds of that fruits germinates directly on the plant, parental plants, and by producing root and shoots, shoot and roots on rootward direction, they falls into the soil. This is the most important adaptive characteristics of halophytic plants. Why these plants develop such type of adaptive characteristics in halophytes? Because due to the salty soils, due to the more amount of salt, so what happens when the seeds fall into the soil, due to the exosmosis, there will be a absorption, there will be a release of water, or there will be a decay of seeds. To avoid this, there is a vivipary condition in most of the halophytic plants. So these are some of the important adaptive characteristics of halophytes. Vivipary condition is there. Xerophytic characteristics are there. Then there is a presence of another important characteristics, nematophores. What are these nematophores? The nematophores are nothing but negatively geotropic roots which are develops above the surface of the soils. So these are known as nematophores, and these nematophores have a small pores for to absorb oxygen, or for respiratory. They are also known as respiratory roots, which are negatively geotropic one. So that is also one of the important adaptive characteristics of halophytes. So why these halophytic plants produced as a nematophores or respiratory roots? Because due to the presence of salt, salty soils, there is a very low amount of oxygen, very low amount of oxygen, or there is no oxygen. At that time, the plants need respiration process. So for that purpose, they have developed pnematophores for the respiration. So these are the important characteristics of halophytes. While writing the morphological adaptation, they have to be mentioned what type of roots are there. So the halophytes have a normal roots and pnematophores. So what is the purpose of, what is the function of pnematophores? They have to mention, and whether this plant is having a taproot system, because due to the salty soils they have a taproot system, well developed root system. While discussing the morphological characteristics halophytes, you have to be mention what type of roots are there. So that is taproot system and pnematophores. Then stem is also well developed, woody stem, hard with a bark. Then while studying the leaves and other flower characteristics, so these are also, leaves are also a special type of morphological adaptations. So here also the leaves are very leathery one, and well developed with a sunken stomata. So then flowering, seed setting, fruits, all these things you have to be mentioned in halophytes. While discussing the anatomical adaptation of halophytes, then you have to be describe the TS of roots, both of normal taproot system as well as pnematophores. So epidermis, what type of epidermis is there? What is the cortex? What is the endodermis? What are the vascular, what type of vascular bundles are there in case of roots and stem of halophytes? So while there is a slight difference is there, when compared to xerophytic characteristics of xerophytic plants and halophytic plants. That is root, stem and leaves transfer sectional. In examination, when there is a 20 marks questions, at that time I have to be write morphological adaptation as well as anatomical adaptation. In anatomical adaptation you have to be describe the TS of root, TS of stem and TS of leaf. So this is regarding the halophytes. Now the last bit of this chapter, that is epiphytes. What are the epiphytic plants? The epiphytes are nothing but those plants which are grow on other plants for their supports, only. Such plants are known as epiphytes. For example, amarvel, in Marathi it is called as amarvel, which is yellow one, thread-like structure, which grows on other plants, that is epiphytic plants. That is, then again vanda is there, orchids are there. So vanda, orchids, and there are some pteridophytic plants are also epiphytic ones. For example, in case of while observing in forest of Mahabaleshwar and Ratnagiri, we will find different type of epiphytic plants. So these epiphytic plants are also having a both morphological as well as anatomical adaptation. So in case of epiphytic plants, we'll discussing the morphological adaptation, that is roots. Again here there are two types of root system. Supportive root system, which holds the plants on the other plants. Then another hanging roots, which are hangs in the air. So these are known as hanging roots, and the main purpose of hanging roots is to absorb oxygen and nutrients which are present in the atmosphere. Because whatever the roots are there in epiphytes, they are mainly responsible for to hold the plants, not absorb the material from the parental plants, on which they are growing. They will not be absorbed nutrients. The nutrients will be absorbed by hanging roots, which are present in the epiphytic plants. Stem is, most of the epiphytic plants, stem is very weakly developed, leaves are also very weakly developed, poorly developed. So these are some of the important adaptive characteristics of epiphytic plants. Epiphytic plants. So some of the common examples I have given. So while explaining the morphological as well as anatomical adaptation of epiphytes, here also you have to write one by one points of morphological adaptation. So what type of roots are there? Stem, leaves. Then TS of root, stem and leaves. Just you have to be mentioned here which is the most important adaptive characteristics of all these different types of plants. So with this I have completed plant adaptation chapter. So in that in examination there will be always a 20 marks or 10 marks question will be asked on either it may be on hydrophytes or xerophytes or halophytes or epiphytes. If there is a 20 marks question, at that time you have to be explain both morphological as well as anatomical of hydrophytes, xerophytes, halophytes and epiphytes. With this I have completed this chapter. Now the next chapter which we are going to discuss is ecosystem. Ecosystem. This is also one of the most important chapter in which we have to discuss various things of ecosystem. First of all, what is meant by ecosystem? What are the different types of ecosystem? What are the trophic level? What are the components of ecosystem? What is meant by food chain? What is meant by food web? Energy flow in ecosystem? What are the pyramids, ecological pyramids? What are the different types of ecological pyramids? Food web, what is meant by food webs? And all these things, how they are related to each other. So you have to be study all these things in this chapter. This is the new one, and after that community ecology is there. Another chapter is there, community ecology is there, and phytogeographic region. What is meant by phytogeography? So these are the three chapters. These three chapters are there. In these three chapters, ecosystem is a very important one. So this requires at least 3 to 4 lectures of ecosystem, then 4 to 5 chapters for phytogeography, then 4 to 5 lectures for community ecology. So these are the things you have to be study in this paper. After that, again we are going to be revise all the chapters one by one before the commencement of examination. So with this, today we are going to stop here only, and tomorrow I am going to discuss regarding to ecosystem. Thank you.